Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey.
Hello.
And the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What up, now?
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having an excellent Tuesday because, holy cow, in just the last hour or so many different things have happened in the news and politics, etc. We're going to get to as many as we can here pretty quick. Before the stream, thank you, the One-Ton Hammer. Glad you're back, Scribe. We missed you. Have some Dr. Peppers on me. Well, I wouldn't have a Dr. Pepper on you if my life depended on it. If you were a beautiful woman, maybe. But I do. Have a refreshing Dr. Pepper right here. Manna of the gods. And, yeah. I can't leave home without it. Well, I could leave home without it, but I'm at least here with it right now. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything else in the grand scheme of chatting things because I had to freeze the chat there to get that super chat. All right. And Satsu, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Today, for whatever reason, was very long. Squishy's been getting home a lot earlier now that, she's a lot closer. So the days just feel weird now. So she was home for like 4 hours, and I'm just like, shouldn't I be streaming right now?
Yeah.
It was just a weird day. I went to the store and got some stuff and made something new tonight. So good day, just long one.
That's what she said. And Monkey, how are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Living life and enjoying it. How you doing, Scribbles?
I'm doing all right. I had a nice, relatively quiet day at work. It was peaceful, got everything done, came home, goofed around, and here I am. And just watching all the ins and outs of what's going on in the world in the last couple hours especially has just made me go like, what? So we're going to have lots to talk about here. Before I do that, though, I do want to point out in the description, those of you, there are two fundraisers. One is for our longtime viewer and supporter of the show, Angela Arriaga. She's looking for a little bit of a help. It's not much. She's just shooting for $1,000. I think she's at about like 300 something right now. So if you give that a look, if you would, appreciate it. And secondly, underneath that, of course, Knight of Charlemagne, he who is responsible for my avatar art, he and his dog Blue are also looking for a little bit of a help. Because of some medical issues and some other things going on. So I would really appreciate if you guys would take a look at those when you have a chance. And if you happen to have a couple of spare bucks, think about throwing them their way because they are longtime supporters of the show, friends of the show, and we appreciate them. And I hope you do too. Let's see. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button if you have not already. And please share our stuff. You guys are our best algorithm for spreading the word that we exist to the world beyond this.
You're our only algorithm, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's really true. I mean, YouTube doesn't really do much for small time when we're small potatoes over here, small time creators. So if you like, and even if it's not us, if there's a creator you like, more likely than not, they're not being exposed any better than we are by YouTube's grand algorithm. So help them out.
So we have to expose ourselves, you guys.
That's right. We're all walking around in trench coats and little socks. But anyway, anything else to mention before we get into the schnuzz? Are you guys gaming tonight?
No game stream.
No game stream tonight. Okay.
Oh my God, Scribe.
Yes.
That trench coat thing you just said reminded me of a question that got asked to me one time.
Was it by the police?
No.
Oh, okay.
So this dude asked me, if somebody was walking around with a trench coat and they flashed you, would you be more offended if he had on ankle socks or knee-high socks? And I was like, wait, what?
Well, gosh, no, I guess I have standards. What? I don't
like, what kind of question is that? The fucked up part is there's an answer. Like, I literally had an answer. Like, it would be worse if he had on ankle socks.
See, I said knee-highs. That's where I immediately went.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that would be weirder.
There is an incoming raid. I saw a Neom earlier, and now I've got a raid warning. And not the anti-pest spray. Raid. Right. Actually, they should find that sound effect and like if I could do a soundboard on here, I'd have that and I'd push that and have like raid whenever like Sinatra's friends show up. Anyway, guys, holy cow. News. What shall we do first? Well, let's talk about who's dropped out of the presidential race in the last hour. First off, the person that you probably don't even remember was in the race, Michael Bennet out of Colorado.
Who?
Who's Michael Bennet, you say? I don't know. He was there. Now he's out. So there you go. The one that I guess in retrospect doesn't surprise me so much, but I was kind of surprised. See, I'm on the West Coast, so my sense of when the elections are over is a little skewed in my own brain. So the voting was pretty much already done about an hour or two ago. But Andrew Yang has suspended his campaign, effectively dropping out, which, like I said, my first reaction was kind of surprised because I thought, gosh, he spent so much time and money in New Hampshire. I thought he would at least wait it out. But then, Monkey reminded me, well, the election kind of already happened. Like, oh, yeah, I'm on the West Coast. My brain's off.
Yeah.
Welcome to America.
Yeah, welcome to America.
Well, we predicted it. We called it because we just got the news that didn't he let some people go recently or something?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. That's true.
Yeah. So.
Let's go over the current results of the primary, as it were. Right now, we have Sanders at the top with 27.6%. Buttigieg second, 23.2%. Klobuchar third, 19.7%. And Elizabeth Warren, 10.2%. Now, there's a name you may have noticed I didn't say in that breakdown, and that's Joe Biden, who's currently fifth with 8.2%. And this is from looking on the breakdown from Huffington Post, which I don't know. Does Biden being not even in the top three shock anyone else just a little bit?
Shock me? No.
Okay.
No, it doesn't shock me. Even his campaign people said that they didn't expect him to do well at all here. So,
yeah, well, he ditched even sticking around for New Hampshire and flew straight to North Carolina, I think it was.
South Carolina.
Sorry, South Carolina. And I want to actually bring up one of the stories that
While you're doing that, the one thing I will say, they mentioned on. I was watching ABC's news feed on YouTube while I was playing my ARC, and they mentioned that nobody who's ever finished below second place in New Hampshire has ever won the presidency for the Democrats.
Yeah, and that's always been kind of like the benchmark stuff. They always say, like, they always use these first two states as this is the metric. If you haven't done this, then you haven't won the presidency. So it's not a certainty, obviously, but
Sure.
it's not good in the tea leaves for Joe Biden. Thank you, Terry.
Not a good look.
Thank you, Terry Diamantis. Forget being president. Biden needs a Storytime YouTube channel. I need to know more about Corn Pop.
Here, here.
I think we all need to know more about Corn Pop,
Especially the police.
Yeah, if anybody needs to revive the FDR brand fireside chats, it's probably Joe Biden.
Oh, I would listen to those. I would so intently.
Yeah, I would be all over these. Let me read this story that came out earlier today, but it's had a couple things in it that kind of struck me. So this is from CNN. Biden to bail on New Hampshire primary night party and head to South Carolina instead. Joe, thank you. This is Kyle. Glad to have you back, Scribe. Well, I didn't know you had my back. Are you okay? There's nobody behind me. I got a wall behind me. That's good. Okay. Thank you, Kyle. Joe Biden is flying to South Carolina on Tuesday night, bailing at the last minute on his planned New Hampshire primary night party ahead of another expected loss. The former vice president's abrupt change of plans comes as his campaign scrambles to keep his base of African-American support from crumbling under the weight of a fourth-place finish in Iowa and another potentially poor showing here. And this was posted several hours ago, but now we know he's at least right now in fifth place in his second outing. Biden told reporters Tuesday in New Hampshire he's leaving because there are, quote, significant portions of the electorate who haven't voted yet, unquote. Quote, we're still mildly hopeful here in New Hampshire, he said, and we'll see what happens, unquote.
I'm sorry, mildly hopeful?
That is damning with faint praise, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah.
I'm going to skip down a little bit because there's a part of this that and Monkey brought up something before the stream started with Nate Silver, which I'm sure we'll get to shortly, but I wanted to read this part. Quote, the problem with the primary schedule is that you can build a momentum and have absolutely no diversity of support, said Louisiana Representative Cedric Richmond, Biden's campaign co-chair. Quote, and so we just have to remind people that the two states that are diverse speak next, and that will change the tide of momentum, unquote. North Carolina Representative Alma Adams, a Biden supporter whose state votes on Super Tuesday, said Iowa and New Hampshire are, quote, not reflective of what I know will be strong support, unquote, for the former vice president in more diverse states. Quote, it doesn't look like our communities across the country. It doesn't look like the party at all, unquote, she said of the nominating contest so far. So just remember, guys, if you don't look correct, you're not a part of the Democratic Party. I just want to underscore that. I mean, I did a story last summer about how the top echelons of the DCCC, the people in charge of getting like the local state representatives and everybody elected, had this whole power struggle inside their top tier because there weren't enough black people, even though the lady, when she got the job, hired black people, except they all migrated off to work for Kamala Harris and other people after the fact. But she's being blamed for being racist or something. And they're saying, we need a person of color in charge of things. I said it today, and I thought maybe I was being too cynical. The Democratic Party is becoming very quickly a racist organization.
Yep.
Becoming.
Well, I know I'm understating it, but it's becoming more and more obvious, and probably more importantly, more comfortable to say out loud without feeling any repercussions. Thank you, Blake Becker. Flight of the Valkyrie starts playing because of Sinatra. Yes. Hello, Sanoots. All of the Sanoots. And thank you, Mashisu. Congrats to Random American for being named a Russian bot. That is more ironic than I know what to say. Random American, are you a sleeper agent?
That sounds like something a Russian would come up with when he's making a screen name.
That's right. Random American. Yeah, you're right. What a cover. Drops little boy bomb. King Panther just dropped the little boy bomb on us. I think
weird.
I think that means he made a poopy in his pants.
Satsu deflects it with the tennis racket.
Ew. Yeah, let me get out of this one now. Let me see if the numbers have changed much. No, Biden's still in fifth. Sanders is still gaining. So it looks like Sanders is probably going to win New Hampshire. Thank you, Cryptic. Yeah, slavery and JC already made the Dems racist. Yeah. Thank you, Cryptic. Let me see if there's any other bullet points to read here before we move on. Let's see. Disappointing night for Biden. Yeah, I already knew that. Biden and Warren won't earn any delegates tonight. Uh-oh. That's not good. Warren congratulates Klobuchar by pointing out how wrong the pundits can be when they count a woman out. And remember, guys, Klobuchar beat Warren in this so far, which is, honestly, I would have thought that at worst it would have been, the top three would have been Buttigieg, Sanders, and Warren. I thought some combination thereof. But
we had in Iowa.
Huh? Yeah, basically. Yeah. But Klobuchar, that's just amazing. So do you think Warren suspends her campaign soon?
No.
No. I think I told you before this. I was watching because they were showing various different campaigns, and Elizabeth Warren was one of the few who came out right away to say something. Mm-hmm. And it very much sounded at first like she was going to concede the campaign itself, not just the race tonight.
Right.
Oh, real quick.
Yep. Thank you, Manic. Wow. Thank you, Manic, so much. Appreciate it. 3 airplanes. Meow, meow, meow.
But instead, she gets to the end of we tried real hard, and then just like right into that. That's why we're gonna keep fighting on. She didn't quite have a Howard Dean moment, but
okay. Yeah,
she did have some creepy laughs.
A lot about her is kind of creepy if she's put on. I mean, she might not be a dog-faced pony soldier, but
look,
you know.
The press might want to ignore it, but this is a lying, horrible woman. So I think the electric is showing they paid attention.
That could be so. I mean, but of course, at the same time, why is Bernie winning then? Because I mean, every time he's pressed on giving a clear answer as to how are you going to pay for this, how are you going to manage all these promises you've made, and he never has a clear answer at all.
That's fair, but Bernie also never claimed to be an Indian. Or claimed that he was fired for being pregnant after saying he left because he made the choice.
Yeah.
I mean, she told some real whoppers, man. So, yeah.
Okay, well, anyway, I think the breakdown of the primary is pretty much done at this point, unless there's some drastic change in the vote. So anything else to say about the primary right now?
Yeah, I do think it's telling that nobody's even bringing up the fact that Bloomberg isn't even on the list.
That is a good point. But of course, Bloomberg was kind of aiming for some late.
Yes.
He was aiming to be a late bloomer, if you'll pardon the expression.
And you're right there. But after all of the press I've seen about him this last week, his name not being mentioned it's almost like they're having a senior moment up there. Like they just forgot he existed for a minute.
Thank you, Lion Patriot, with the Dogcat Fox. How's it going? Dogcat Fox, who lives with me on my moon base. I think I could be wrong, but I'll take a Chris Cillizza on this. Instead of taking a mulligan, I'm going to take a Chris Cillizza. I think that's how I'm going to do political predictions from now on. It's like, well, I don't know for a fact, but I'll take a Chris Cillizza on this. I think Bloomberg's presidential ambitions will end up being the most expensive act of masturbation on record, next to Ross Perot.
Oh, certainly.
I mean, and granted, we're talking. I mean, I can't adjust for inflation, but I'm pretty sure Bloomberg by the end of this will have ended up spending far more money than Perot ever did on his campaign, and it'll be all wasted. You might as well just like burned it. You might as well just done a Heath Ledger Joker on it. And maybe I'll be surprised. Maybe he'll make a great showing in Nevada or something, and change the entire game. But if he does that, if there are any late bloomers at this stage of the game going into the next 3 or 4 months, it can only hurt the Democrats' chances. And the reason I say that is because if they can't land on a more unified candidate, if they're going to be fractured up until the nth hour, there's no hope for them. It's just not going to happen. And it's their own fault after a fashion, but it's also just sort of the way that the party has tried to reimagine itself after failing so miserably last time.
It'd be hilarious if this was like a Guinness World Record attempt. Like he was just like, I just want to see how much money I could spend running for president, and like I want to break the record.
Yeah, I mean, what else is he going to do with all that money at this stage of the game? It's like, he's just. I'm an old man with a lot of money. Oh, whatever. Anyway. Well, if we come up with any other thoughts on that or something else happens, we'll talk about it later. But let's cover a couple of the other stories that came out today. First off, this is bizarre. And this is shady as hell to me. But I haven't read the whole story, so let's find out. All 4 federal prosecutors quit the Roger Stone case after the DOJ overrules their sentencing request. This gets weird in a second. Thank you, Charlie Spears. Got to go to bed. I just want to jump in and say hi to everyone. Have a great stream and night. Night. XOXO, which is obviously code for a football maneuver. Thank you, Charlie Spears.
Night, sweetheart. Have a good one.
Let's see. In an extraordinary move, all 4 federal prosecutors who took the case against longtime Donald Trump confidant Roger Stone to trial withdrew Tuesday after top Justice Department officials undercut them and disavowed the government's recommended sentence against Stone. Thank you, Mr. Scott. Guess who's back again? I'm the real Scribe Shady. Do I have to cut my hair really short and spike it and bleach it now?
You're not gay.
Okay, good. The mass withdrawal of the career prosecutors on the case was a stunning response to the Justice Department's controversial and politically charged decision to reduce prosecutors' recommended sentence of up to 9 years, which came just hours after Trump publicly criticized it on Twitter. The rapid fire developments in the case, the prosecutor's withdrawals came one by one through court filings over the course of 2 hours this afternoon, spilled tensions between the top Justice Department brass and the career prosecutors into the open, raising questions about the Justice Department's independence from political pressure. In a new filing Tuesday, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington revised the sentencing recommendation to be, quote, far less, unquote, than the 7 to 9 year sentence recommended on Monday. It was not signed by any of the prosecutors who worked on the case. Ultimately, the presiding judge in the case will have the final say on Stone's sentence. Okay, so now there is no hard and fast proof, but it would appear that the president pressured the Justice Department to reduce the sentencing recommendation on his friend, which is amazing, if true. Thank you, Prospero. If you check your Twitter DMs, you'll find a present from Goat Frapple. Our friend Tailed has a new channel, Scottish feature. Please share. What? Tailed? Why didn't you tell me these things? Of course I'm going to...
He's Scottish. You can't trust them.
I know. They're full of haggis. Oh, my God. Is that Tailed without his mask? What? I'm sorry, guys. This is a... It is! Oh, my God. What a handsome man he is. I had no idea. I'd never seen him before. All right, I'll tweet that out. And thank you, Corey Suzuki. So it's not set in stone. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha. Okay, at first blush, this is the kind of cronyism I hate. I hate this, like the president pardoning their best friends or their allies or something. Or when Scooter Libby got a pardon, I was pissed off. This is not a pardon, not yet, but it sure smacks of something like that. So, what do you guys think?
If it had been a pardon, then I could see it. With it being the sentencing recommendations, it doesn't make sense to me that there's a lot of people upset by this, and like it's just the sentencing recommendation. And according to the Justice Department, and there's another thing we don't have the information on, but if what we're hearing is true, the communication that the lawyers had with the Justice Department was not even close to this. This is a ridiculous standard by what they even said. So,
yeah, but I mean, if you're not going to have the prosecutors, the federal prosecutors, have any independence, why even bother having them? Why not just like send every decision up to the president?
Well, again, this isn't the president just getting commuting the sentence here.
No,
or pardoning him.
Well, not yet. But again, if he just said, for the prosecutors assigned to the case said, we recommend this, and then the president's like, no. Like, well, does the law not apply if the president's friend is involved?
No, it still applies. This is, again, just for the recommendations. And I would be very curious to know, and to be honest, I don't, what other people in similar roles have ended up with here.
Real quick, Sean Lee says, the DOJ made its recommendation before the tweet.
Reportedly, but that's not been shown anywhere.
Yeah, reportedly so. But I mean, the prosecutors made their recommendation, and then all of a sudden, the DOJ decides to overrule them, and then the president tweets out his opposition as well. So,
well, see, and that's why I bring up the part about the Justice Department has said that when they were in communication with the prosecutors said, "Hey, this is what we're asking for."
Right.
And then out of nowhere to them, it's this. And there's some people who believe, and again, I don't know,
right,
that this is kind of a fuck you specifically to Trump because he got off on impeachment. I saw that going around quite a bit today. And
wow. Okay.
Yeah. And look, I'm not saying I agree with any of this.
Right.
I'm saying I don't know. I think for the president, I mean, if you just want your friend to get off, the easiest way to do it, let him get convicted, wait till you're reelected, and then pardon him. That takes care of everything. That takes his sentence to, no matter what it was, down to nothing. and an expunged record. So I get why people have questions. Absolutely. It's not a good look. We'll definitely say that. It's one of those things we've talked about before, Scribe. Optics matter.
Yes. Yeah, the appearance of impropriety is just in this. I mean, like I say, we don't know all the forces that were at work here or the timing of it or anything else. But again, the appearance of impropriety is so thick here that it just. And again, I am curious. Wait, what? Oh, no, sorry. A video is playing in my background, and I thought somebody was talking. I will be curious to see if Roger Stone gets something significant, if he gets pardoned, immediately or by the end of the cycle or something. I don't know.
So, Scribe, do you think that the tweet is what pressured them, or you think he did it beforehand and then tweeted about it?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, obviously, with the timing of what happened, he tweeted after the decision was made by the DOJ to overrule the prosecutors. Mm-hmm. So whether he was just expressing, I don't know, trying to sound like he just suddenly had this reaction rather than something he'd already said in the background, because I can't imagine that he wasn't told ahead of time before the tweet that this he didn't find out that this happened by reading the New York Times or something.
Right.
Unless his inner circle just is completely silent to him about things, which is not entirely impossible either. Let's see. Well, okay. I just wanted to check that one of Chris Cillizza's predictions for the 5 predictions of New Hampshire was number 3, Biden badly underwhelms. So there you go. Anything else on that?
No.
All right. So, and lastly, before we get to the bottom of the hour, something that I had hoped would happen for like a year now, finally did. Jussie Smollett has been indicted by a grand jury on 6 counts for making false reports, special prosecutor says. A Cook County, Illinois grand jury has returned a 6-count indictment against actor Jussie Smollett for making false reports. Smollett, who is gay and black, that is important to the story.
Why does that matter?
Well, it does matter in this story because that was part of the story. Said he was the victim of a racist and homophobic attack near his Chicago apartment on January 29th, 2019. Police say the actor orchestrated the incident and paid 2 men who were acquaintances from the TV show on which he starred, brothers Olabinho and Amibola Ozandario, I'm saying that correctly, to stage the incident for publicity. The former Empire actor has repeatedly denied making up or orchestrating the attack. Yeah, well, he's a big liar, so... Dan K. Webb, the special prosecutor assigned in August to investigate how local prosecutors handled the TV actor's case, said in a statement he, quote, has now completed all of the investigative steps regarding Jussie Smollett and has made the decision to further prosecute Mr. Smollett, unquote. I thought the cops kind of did a pretty comprehensive job about that last year.
When the first grand jury came back and said, yeah.
Yeah, and when the chief of police stood up there and laid out, and he and his coworkers laid out the entire case as to how they investigated the whole thing and found the video and tracked down the 2 guys and all the stuff. It was pretty much a lock at that point. So I wonder if they say what he could possibly face if he's convicted of all of these things. Because I remember something to the effect of, like last year, was something like each count of false report could conceivably get him, like, I don't know, like 3 months in prison or something per, if he somehow got all 6 times 3, and that's how many months he might get. Thank you, Mr. Scott. If the noose doesn't fit, you must acquit. He was still wearing it when the cops showed up. There's video of this. There's body cam video of the cops showing up at his apartment, and he still has the string around his neck. And the cops are like, you can take that off now. Oh, man. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. Let's see. Any other stories or things you want to say, guys, before we move on?
No, just it's about time this shit happened to this asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. He hopefully this means he'll get what's coming to him, but you never know.
I am curious to find out is if in the course of this secondary investigation they find any inappropriate behavior on the part of Kim Fox, who was supposed to prosecute this in the first place.
Oh, I wonder if they even bothered to look that far. If they didn't want
Yeah,
to seem petty or vindictive kind of thing.
maybe, but there was always a lot of like questions about what was going
Oh,
on there, whether
sure.
that cronyism or something in that instance. But anyway, guys, we're going to move on to MSS News. If you have news stories that you would like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSS News. Can't promise we'll get to them all. That's because I'm long-winded. And also, just a reminder to take a look in the description at the fundraisers for both Angela Arriaga and Nida Charlemagne, two friends of the show, supporters. Charlemagne made my avatar art, for which I am eternally grateful. And Angela's always been around supporting the show and being a presence in the chat. So if you take a look at those, and if you have a couple of bucks to throw their way, I know it would be greatly appreciated as my phone beeps at me. And do I have to go to work? No. Good. Okay. Moving on. Let's see. This one comes from Massive Dynamics. Okay. Sure. Why not? Fight in Norway's biggest mosque ends with woman's finger being bitten off.
Damn.
Okay. A fight between two women at a mosque in Norway's capital clearly got out of hand. After one of the participants had her finger bitten off. It's not yet known what triggered the brutal brawl. In a mosque? I'm assuming it had to be over a man. That's my guess. The fight between a woman in her 30s and a woman in her 50s happened at the Tawfiq Islamic Center in Oslo, according to local media. Police confirmed the incident on Twitter and said that the victim had been transported to a nearby hospital. The chewed up finger, not just severed, but chewed up finger was recovered at the scene and taken to the hospital where surgeons will attempt to reattach it. The alleged finger biter was arrested and charged with assault. Oslo police operations leader Christian Krohn Engseth told local media that surveillance footage from the mosque was being closely examined. He added that police, quote, have an idea, unquote, of what might have caused the nasty scuffle, but would not disclose further information until an investigation is completed. Okay. Maybe they were just hungry. Like really hungry?
That's usually what happens.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, moving on. I saw this one the other day. This one comes from Peter Stewart. I wish there was film of this, just because it'd be like one of those, cringe, ouch moments. Movers accidentally destroy Canadian virtuoso's one-of-a-kind $194,000 piano.
Ooh.
An extremely rare $194,000 grand piano was smashed when movers dropped it while taking it out of a recording studio, Canadian virtuoso Angela Hewitt has revealed. Hewitt, one of the world's leading classical pianists, said in a Facebook post that she had just finished recording Beethoven's piano variations in Berlin when the movers entered the studio control room to tell her they had dropped her handmade Fazioli piano. The pianist said it had taken her 10 days to share the, quote, very sad news, unquote, because it, quote, has been such a shock to me that I didn't immediately want to share it with the world, unquote. Her precious F278 Fazioli piano was the only one in the world with 4 pedals, she wrote. Quote, I adored this piano. It was my best friend, best companion. I loved how it felt when I was recording, giving me the possibility to do anything I wanted. Now it is no longer, unquote. The iron frame was broken, as was much of the structure, lid, and case. Italian engineer and pianist Paolo Fazioli, the owner of Fazioli Pianos, declared the handmade instrument, quote, unsalvageable, unquote. Let's see.
That's rough.
A spokeswoman for Fazioli Pianos told CNN the company could not comment further because of a, quote, strict internal rule on protecting clients' privacy. Okay. I have a strange feeling that Fazioli is going to make her a new piano.
Probably, but it's also not going to replace that one.
No. But damn. And okay, first off, I hope she was insured. Second off, that moving company had better pay up. Oh, man. Let's see. And Mercy of Wits also sent us that story. Okay, which frosted glass post do I want to do? Thank you, Gulf City Cult of Krill, but it's $194,000 Canadian dollars. No, that was adjusted for American dollars. It was 150 or something. I forget it was. Sorry, I already closed the story. It was whatever the equivalent of 194,000 American dollars is in Canadian dollars. That's what it was. Let's see. Okay, we'll do this one. This one comes from Frosted Glass. It's not a Medium post, but it is a Guardian post. Wait, did we already read this one? I think we did. Pete Buttigieg is the embodiment of white privilege, and black voters know it.
I don't know if we read that.
You're the one where he represents straight white privilege, I think it was.
Yes, that we did.
That's what it was. Okay, this is slightly different. Ask any black person across the South, and they'll say the same thing. Buttigieg has less experience in office than our local church deacons.
Okay. Fair enough.
This is the author talking. One of my favorite church deacons at a ministry I attended in Boynton Beach, Florida, decided one Sunday that he would run for mayor. Deke, as we all affectionately referred to him, had already served many years as vice mayor and city commissioner, so it was no surprise when he won the mayorship. Deke was best known for singing old gospel songs with the growl of a blues singer and the whoop of a Baptist preacher. To me, he was far more a beloved black church dignitary than he was a politician. Nevertheless, my church deacon is more qualified to serve as president of the United States than former Mayor Pete Buttigieg. Well, if you're talking about literal qualifications, he's no more or less qualified than Pete Buttigieg. But it's a matter of opinion. Political pundits and media outlets are scrambling to try to understand how it is that Buttigieg could have 0% support among black primary voters. I would offer the following. First, ask any black person across the South, and they'll likely say the same thing. Buttigieg has less experience in office than our local church deacons, yet he is being propped up to be the next president. Is he, though?
By some.
Yeah, I guess. Above equally educated and far more qualified politicians, such as... Can you think of the two politicians we're about to be recommended?
Booker and Harris.
And Kamala Harris.
Oh, you guys are psychic! Holy crap. I don't even need to read the article now. Black Americans understood one simple, albeit unfortunate truth. We have to be twice as good as white men in order to earn half as much as they are given in this life. So far, the Democratic primaries have been a case in point. Harris and Booker, who have equal or greater levels of education than Buttigieg with far more experience, were quickly ushered out of the presidential race.
They were not ushered out.
All right, this is something that also came up earlier today in an article that I posted about real quick here. Where'd it go? Let me find it here because there was the exact same claim. Here it is. This was from a CNN story. That disparity stood out even more glaringly after all of the major candidates of color, Castro, as well as African-American Senators Cory Booker of New Jersey and Kamala Harris of California, were forced from the race before anyone voted.
They weren't forced from the race.
Yeah.
They ran bad campaigns.
And I, just to bleed into my fucketry, I said forced from the race, not mismanaging their funds or conducting bland campaigns. They were forced out. If so, that is a stark indictment of the DNC as a racist organization and another example of how to ideologically cut off your nose to spite your face.
I mean, this is coming from the group where, if a black person somehow fails, it can't be their fault. It's always somebody else's. It doesn't matter who. Just blame the nearest person to you. It doesn't matter. It's not your fault. It can't be. We can't be at fault because we don't have any power. It's everybody else that dictates everything that goes on with us, unless we succeed. If we succeed, then it's 100% us. Nobody else helped. It was all us, and we do it because melanin is great and black people are amazing. But if we fail, no, we had nothing to do with that. It was somebody else's fault. Just take your pick. We don't care who. Just not us.
We apparently they have not learned the lesson of 2016. Okay, if we're just talking straight politics, Hillary losing was Hillary's fault, but they can't admit that. So they're going to keep saying that they're the victims and it was forces outside that caused it all to happen. And if you keep that up, if you keep playing the victim or making your constituents or your members victims and never be even a little bit introspective about what you did, how you did it, how you could have done it better, you're always going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I to this moment, I don't think that being a Democrat makes you dumb or something any more than I think being a Republican makes you smart. But that no one, at least in the talking heads of things, seems to want to at least concede the possibility that not making it in a political campaign means you ran a bad campaign or your candidate was weak. Not that you were conspired against, not that you were undercut or cheated on or something, that you just ran a bad campaign, that you did a lousy job convincing people to vote for you. Can you even accept that possibility? Doesn't seem so.
Well, it is your hatred and bias against black people that leads you to believe that they just ran a bad campaign. Of course, you think white people didn't.
You know? No, I think Hillary Clinton was an idiot.
No. Well, that's because she's a woman and you're misogyny.
Right, that's right. I can't win. I just can't win.
We got an answer for everything, dude.
I know, birds of prey. Let's see. Moving on. Okay, which one of these do I want to do? Do I want coronavirus? Sure, why not? This one comes from Shrouded Angel, because we haven't talked about coronavirus yet today. I don't want to play a video. Go away. Coronavirus super spreader pleads, quote, "Don't turn me into national scapegoat," unquote. Scout leader Steve Walsh, 53, from Hove in East Sussex, described his concern from his hospital bed in a London isolation unit for the 11 Brits he is thought to have infected. A dad of two identified as Britain's coronavirus super spreader. That sounds
to be known for.
I know. It also sounds like that's like a man spreader who got hit with radioactive rays or something. Super spreader. Has told how he fears being made a, quote, national scapegoat, unquote. Scout leader Steve Walsh, 53, today told of his concern for the 11 Brits he had infected from his hospital bed in a London isolation unit. Health authorities are trying to trace hundreds of people he and other Brits he infected came into contact with since their return to the UK. The group of friends who have tested positive included 2 GPs, and the outbreak has seen 2 doctors' surgeries and a care home closed in the Brighton area. 2 teachers at sales executive Mr. Walsh's daughter's school.
Okay.
I think my brain just broke. Let me try that again. 2 teachers at sales executive Mr. Walsh's daughter's school were today ordered to self-isolate, unquote. I'm good at that.
Mm-hmm.
If I get sick, I'll be a pro. He is in quarantine at London's St. Thomas Hospital after picking up the disease at a Singapore gas conference at the end of last month. A Singapore gas conference. Okay. He then came home to Hove in East Sussex via a skiing holiday. Friends who he stayed with in a chalet in the French Alps have also tested positive, and half of the groups had returned to the UK. Super spreader. Yeah, I have a feeling that him being blamed will not last longer than this article. So,
we'll see. Once you're labeled in the news as super spreader, can you come back from that?
At least it wasn't something cool like super shredder.
Yeah.
Super spreader sounds like a sexual position. Let's see. This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. If it'll come up. Hello, article. You want to come up? Is this real? Okay. Is a video going to play in my ear now? Yes, it is. Stop it. Free porn offered to quarantined coronavirus cruise passengers.
It's the least you could do.
The least you could do.
The Miami-based porn site that tried to offer complimentary webcams to the Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers last month. What?
These guys are just marketing geniuses.
Wow. Attempting to ease boredom for passengers stuck aboard Princess Cruises' 2 quarantined vessels with free webcam sessions. As in, they get to watch girls on webcams, or you're going to give them webcams on the ship? I'm confused. This bold offer was extended via press release from the executives at adult website Cam Soda and was directed at the 7,300 passengers who have been impacted by the coronavirus outbreak on the Diamond Princess and the World Dream cruise ships, which are docked in Japan and outside Hong Kong. Quote, they are not only dealing with the fear of infection, which is terrifying, but boredom, said Darren Parker, Cam Soda's vice president. Quote, we like cruises just as much as the next guy. I don't know. Every cruise I've heard about in the last 10 years has been a floating disease pit of some kind. So I don't think I'd ever want to go on a cruise now. But without activities or human interaction, the boredom must be crippling. In an effort to keep their minds off of the coronavirus and help with their boredom, we're offering passengers and crews the ability to have fun in a safe and controlled environment with camming, he continued. I'm still confused. Are they giving the people cams to film themselves, or are they just going to let people watch cam girls?
They're going to let them watch cam girls for free.
Okay. That's what I assumed, but it was just so ambiguous.
Watch those fancy new virtual cam girls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For webcam session redemption, Cam Soda is requiring quarantine passengers and crew members to send a copy of their travel documents via email in exchange for 1,000 free tokens, which can be used to pay for live streams with porn stars. 1,000 free tokens. How much is that worth in real money?
Yeah, how much does that get you?
Be looking at the chat because somebody's going to accidentally blurt out the answer.
Yeah. Hey, chat. Without holding anybody accountable for it, anybody know what 1,000 free tokens on Cam Soda actually? $100 is functional.
Yeah, what's that get you though?
Well, I guess it depends on what rates that the model or performer actually puts up, because they can say, I'll flash you for 10 credits or something, or I'll have a private room for you for 100 or something. That's what I said, because credit based things, and especially with the performers, it's probably always just set by the performer. But just $100, really? I mean, if you went into a strip club with $100, that'd be gone so fast.
Not if you do it right.
I guess
you only give each of them hoes $1.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Or what you really do is you give them $50. You rip that bitch in half and give them that half. And tell them that when they give you the happy ending, they can have the other half. You'll be surprised how far $100 will go.
Shrouded Angel also sent an article that said, would Andrew Yang's UBI plan actually help women? Nope. Not anymore, it won't.
It won't help anybody now.
Well, he's very confident that since he's put this brand new idea out there into the world, that somebody else will pick it up and it'll become a thing before too long, you guys.
Nope.
One thing I can hope for is that and I know this is a long shot idea, but if by some miracle, well, maybe not a miracle, depending on how you look at it, if a Democrat actually wins the presidency, they put Andrew Yang in charge of the FCC.
Yeah.
Or somebody. I just hope whoever wins next, or whoever's not Trump, because Trump's not going to do it. I want somebody. Go ahead.
Sorry, I thought you were done.
Go ahead.
I don't think any of the other Dems are going to pick up on that, because when he meant universal basic income, he meant for everybody. And if you listen to the policies from most of the other candidates or whatever, all their programs, they want them to be exclusively for the people they deem deserve it. And that doesn't include wealthy or rich people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they're like, no, there's no way in hell we're going to offer that much, because that's going to go to everybody. That's every single person that is a legal citizen of the United States. And they're like, no, that includes rich and white people. So no thanks.
Let's see. I've got a couple. Okay, so we talked about Jesse Talked about that. This one comes from what is this? Swiffle Freedom Fighters? SWFL Freedom Fighters. I don't know what that means. Anyway, it's a CNN article. Okay. New bill could finally make it legal for unmarried people to have sex in Virginia.
Pardon?
Is this one of those like antiquated rules that's never been taken off the books? I'm assuming.
Not necessarily with Virginia. When you say antiquated, they used to call it the belt or the buckle of the Bible Belt for a reason.
Virginia is for lovers, the married kind. According to state code, it's illegal for unmarried people to have consensual sex. Well, then a large swath of Virginia's population should be in jail right now.
Yeah, pretty much the whole population.
Probably. Sure, it's not widely enforced. I would love to know the last time it was enforced. I would love to see the transcript from that case. But Virginia Democrats say it's time to scratch the relic of a law for good. I don't disagree. After potentially hundreds of years on the books, potentially? Don't they know? The Virginia House of Delegates repealed the crime of fornication last week. In the Virginia Code, fornication, consensual sex with an unmarried person, isn't legal. Guilty parties could pay a fine. How much do you guys think the fine was?
$100.
500.
Closest without going over is Monkey at $250. Oh, you did go over. No, you didn't want to. $250. That's right, $250. Delegate Mark Levine, who introduced the legislation to repeal it, said that the law fuels Virginians' confusion and distrust in the law. If unmarried sex is illegal, then what else is? Murder. That was easy. And besides which, again, when was the last time it was enforced? Are they going to tell us at all in here? Yeah, it doesn't. Trying to see if it ever says. Yeah, maybe it's in here buried in the story somewhere, but yeah, Virginians aren't confused about the law. They didn't even know it existed because people have been fucking the whole time and no cops broke down the door to ask them for their marriage licenses. So here's the thing, though. They have to be married to each other. That's the big question. If I'm married, but I'm not married to the person I'm having sex with, does that still make it illegal?
Yes.
They come and arrest the bitch who ain't married that you fucking.
That's right. That's right.
And they just leave you. Like, have a good day, sir.
I am married.
Just not to her.
Yeah. If she's married to another guy, if we're both cheating on our spouses, we're not breaking the law. We're having consensual sex with a married person.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for all the stories. Appreciate it. Sorry I can't get to them all, but just the way of the world. Thank you, Frosted Glass. So it only outlaws consensual unmarried sex. Phew. Oh, Frosted. No.
Look, man, words are important.
In the law, that is true. That is very true. That's why we need the ERA now. But with that, guys, we're going to move on to the wonderful world of YouTube time. I'll go first because I didn't do anything in the last 24 hours. Although I am considering doing a quick little live stream review of The Color Out of Space, the latest H.P. Lovecraft adaptation film, which I just watched, starring Nicolas Cage. I watched it from beginning to end. I have some thoughts on it. I won't give them here. I gave a little preview on Twitter, but that's the only thing I kind of think I may do. But other than that, Satsu, what have you been up to?
I recorded a video today. I made twice baked potatoes, and they were fucking delicious. I haven't made that in a really long time. I did it in the air fryer, though, which was interesting. Otherwise, I did upload last night. We were streaming, and my internet died completely. I couldn't get on the internet and do anything. The stream was about to end anyway. Like, we were right at the end of the stream, so it's just not that big a deal. But I was getting ready to fight the dancer on Dark Souls 3. And the stream ended, and I ended up beating it. I killed him. and I recorded the footage and uploaded that video separately. So if you were watching the stream last night and you wanted to see that boss fight, because I know that's one of the harder boss fights in the game, some people might have been anticipating seeing me get wrecked by him. It only took me 3 tries, actually. Well, 4, technically. The one was so fast that it didn't count. I guess I must have forgot about it because I walked into the door and he insta-killed me. So, yeah. But, yeah, it actually worked out. So that's the stuff that I've been working on. Oh, I've recorded quite a bit of footage for my other Monster Hunter series that I told you guys that I'm working on. And I got plenty more to do. This is a lot of shit that I'm gonna be doing. So that stuff will start to trickle out probably in the next couple weeks.
All right. Thank you, Mikhail, the Driving Ape Man. Virginia is a no fun zone. Obscenity laws will never die. I don't know about obscenity laws in Virginia. Monkey, you know more about Virginia than I do.
It was in my lifetime that they actually started making it legal for stores to be open on Sundays.
Oh,
That's
boy.
a true story.
I don't disbelieve.
They used to call them was it blue something laws? Blue code? I forget, yeah.
Thank you, Willett Forge. Like North Carolina law, register at hotel as married equals hitched. You're kidding me. That's all you have to do to get married in North Carolina. I wouldn't be surprised. First, before we get to Monkey, I just want to say thank you to Anonymous, who donated 20 pounds sterling to Knight of Charlemagne, and to both Kathleen Fennessy and Mr. Scott for your donations to Angela Arriaga. Guys, if you'll take a look at the links in the description for the fundraisers for both Angela and Knight of Charlemagne, would appreciate it. I will check back on those shortly. Monkey, what have you been up to?
I'm sure something.
Well, you did a stream this morning because I said hello.
Oh yeah, I did a Monkey in the Morning. That's still last night for me, even though it was Monkey in the Morning for this morning, because I stayed up way too late. I was gonna try to stay up, and I'd really like to get that to a 8 a.m. starting time, and I just couldn't hang, man. I was fucking tired. So I'm, all right, if I don't do it now, it's not gonna get done until right before Lords of the Night. So I did that at 6 this morning. I think I ranted about something. That's all. Oh, no, I talked about the upcoming New Hampshire primary.
Yep.
So yeah, check that out. I actually went on quite a long rant on that one. It was like almost 50 minutes straight of me just talking about Democrats in the primary. So yeah, check it out. It was a good time.
Thank you again, Willett Forge. If both single, yes. Don't know if it is still law. Well, let's just hope Biden doesn't register in a hotel with one of his campaign staffers.
Prospero corrects me. They were just called blue laws. That's what they were. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Well, then, I guess we'll move on to the wonderful world of internet fucketry. I think I kind of covered most of my stuff so far. Let's see. There was a tweet from Harry Enton today, the Igor to Chris Eliza's Dr. Frankenstein. He says, seems to me most pollsters show Biden dropping. Far less clear is who benefited from that. Honestly, wouldn't shock me if Bloomberg led in a national poll soon, though, which, to be honest, is nuts given where he started. And I said, quote, the 5 most likely scenarios as to who benefits from Biden dropping in the polls, unquote, calling it now. Let's see. And then we talked about Biden dropping or leaving New Hampshire. Talked about that.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry.
There was a image from a Reddit something tweeted today. And I don't know if this is true. My reaction to it was, on a retaining my faith in humanity level, I hope it's a Poe, but these days I would not be shocked if it's legit. I will read it to you in its entirety. The name has been crossed out. She was my best friend in high school, and I loved her, but she came out as lesbian. I discovered I'm a trans woman and convinced her she's still a valid lesbian, and it's transphobic not to date me. We've been a transbian lesbian couple for 6 months.
Well, have we not talked about this the whole time? They finally convinced lesbians to have sex with men.
Mm-hmm. It's transphobic not to date me.
Yep.
Now, if that story is true, if this man guilted ideologically this woman into having sex with him outside of her orientation, that's sick and wrong.
Yeah.
If it's a Poe, like I say, I'm having a hard time believing one or the other because current year. So, yeah.
Because we can all see it.
We talked about the forced from the race thing. Oh, yeah. BBC to produce TV series about Greta Thunberg's life. And I said, a TV series when the most significant thing she's done in her life is to drop out of school in order to shame and complain. You need more than an hour to tell that story. It should be called The Adventures of Padding a Ton.
Nice. Well played.
Yeah, well, I occasionally. And then lastly, in the realm of bad puns, I don't know why this occurred to me early this morning, but I said, should Shoe on Head have a response series called Actually?
No, she shouldn't. How dare you, sir?
I got a lot of likes on that one. I didn't get any retweets. I don't think June's going to see it. I just have a feeling.
Did you tweet it at her?
I tagged her in it, yeah. So anyway, I doubt. It's just a thought. And also, hey, Tailed Feature has a new channel where he's going to do history stuff on Scotland and Gaelic stuff and music and all types of things. And a face reveal. I was like, oh my God, there he is. Always wonder what was underneath the mask, and now I know. But all right, onward. Satsu, what do you got?
Well, the first thing that I have today is there was a tweet popped up by some gentleman named Sweet James Jones Jr.
Sweet James Jones Jr. That sounds like a boxer's name.
Could be. And he says the term person of color was intended to be the end of black people politically.
What?
This is the second time that I've heard something similar to this theory. And basically what they're saying is just like the trans movement seems to be doing to the LGBT movement, where they've kind of come in and just kind of almost taken over, and how the LGBT movement has taken away from the individual movements and turned and put everything under an umbrella to take special attention off the so-called oppressed groups that need the most attention. You know what I mean? This person seems to think that black people are the most affected by anything when it comes to oppression. We are the biggest victims in the United States, and the blanket term people of color takes the attention off of where it should be. It throws us in this basket with all these other people who have no idea the type of oppression that we go through. They can't even compare, and we're lumped with them when it comes to talking about our issues, and it diminishes the type of, I guess, I don't know, attention we should be getting as black people. And there's a lot of people in his comment section saying, yeah, I refuse to call myself a person of color. If whoever's talking about oppression or issues ain't talking about specifically black people, I don't want to fucking hear it. I didn't know. Like I said, I've heard something similar to this before, but it was worded a little bit differently. And this chick responded, black people aren't the only people who suffer under the system. The term PLC is meant to talk about non-whites, black people included, to have discussions about ending systematic racism for everyone. And oh boy, his response to that was, we are the only people they've tried to exterminate or oppress more than once. And we still out here, we're still prospering. Now, I don't know how you are both oppressed and prospering at the same time, but apparently that's a thing that you can do. America, guys, the place where you can be both completely oppressed and prospering at the same time because science.
It's a great place.
Yeah.
Science. And yeah, people are not happy about the concept of POC being a kind of blanket term for all the oppressed groups, I guess.
Well, I've always been. I've said it before. It just continues to bewilder me how we go from like when I was growing up. If you said colored people, that was right up there with the N word, effectively. Because you're just classifying people in that way. And this is no different. Yet it's the mainstream now. So in that sense, I agree it's not a good term, but I don't necessarily understand that argument of it.
Yeah. And then somewhere along this timeline, the Native Americans showed up and they're just like, oh, really? You've been impressed much longer than all of us when we were here first before all of y'all. So it's the oppression Olympics are in full swing is basically what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
Everybody's arguing over who's the most oppressed and why we need to stop using these blanket terms that take away from our individual oppression. We need to get rid of intersectionality. That's basically what that is.
I wouldn't argue with that one.
The Babylon Bee put out an article, a very, very good article, titled "Jussie Smollett offered a job at CNN after fabricating news story out of thin air."
Well played.
Perfect.
Indeed. And I was hoping that was the story you were talking about when you said Jesse. I mean, obviously it's Babylon Bee, but I'm like, I really hope that he mentions that. Also, did you guys hear what's going on with Bear?
Yeah, he had what I guess was described as not a stroke, but kind of a stroke, sort of a Sinatra stroke. I don't know.
I talked to him earlier. They're not real sure what it is. A nurse that he had talked to said that they thought it was a stroke, but it's not.
Okay.
So it's not a stroke, but as with happens so often in the medical profession, they don't know, which is always a great thing to hear when you're waiting for results. But he goes to see his doctor, I believe, tomorrow.
Okay.
So.
All right. And let's see. There was one other thing that I wanted to mention. Oh, yeah. You remember that commercial? We were talking about that commercial that they rejected, the Oscars rejected, that was
yes.
showing the pregnant chick or whatever.
Yeah.
This person's response is, men are literally so fragile and offended by anything to do with women's issues. It's so sad and pathetic. Honestly, grow up. And obviously a lot of people were like, my wife, girlfriend, friend, sister, auntie, insert whoever here, also didn't like the commercial. They were very uncomfortable watching it or whatever.
Right.
And the narrative here is there's no way any woman was offended by this. It had to only be men. Men were the reason that it was canceled. And the only reason it was rejected is to protect men's fragile sensibilities. Or male tears and all that.
Right.
And there's a lot of women in here who are like, no, I didn't like it either. And the response to them is basically, shut up, bitch. Nobody asked you.
Of course.
You're not real. You're just a fig Newton of my imagination. So this chick says, I understand it's frustrating to be lumped into a group. This was in regards to her original statement, because people were just like you're saying that men have a problem with this, and you're using the blanket term as a generalization. And she's like, obviously, when I say men, I mean some men. And I'm just like,
that's not what you said.
I'm just like, bitches ain't shit and don't deserve respect. And then someone said, wow, misogynist. And I'm just like, I only meant some witches, some bitches.
Hashtag only some.
Only some bitches. But she says, I understand it's frustrating to be lumped into a group, but sometimes we just want to vent about toxic masculinity without catering to men's feelings.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, then can I vent about whatever and not care about your feelings?
Of course.
Oh,
no.
Yeah. Her feelings are the important ones, Scribe. Didn't you get the memo?
I missed that day in kindergarten. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. It was a memo.
Okay. She specifies again that just because the OP didn't start with some men doesn't mean it applies to all men. You don't know the OP's experience with men. Well, I can tell you this: every single man in their life isn't like that. I can tell you that for sure. So, regardless, the statement is wrong. But if we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt and assume that every time a woman says men are horrible humans, they just mean some, then okay, we can play that game. But my response was, we got to stop listening to what women actually say and start reading between the lines, guys. Women rarely ever say what they mean. It's our job to assume that they always mean something else.
Right.
And she says, buddy, I think you know some toxic women. An adult woman will say what she means the first time.
What? Right. Okay, thanks. You know a lot of women, do you?
And she said, any woman who passive aggressively simpers and cries while expecting you to decode her cryptic behavior is not somebody you should invest time in.
Well, now that all depends, but
all right.
I mean, if that's the rule, I mean, I don't inherently disagree, but then some women are worth trying to decode. I'll just say, sometimes.
Well, I normally don't play that shit like that. That part I agree with. I do not.
Sure.
I do not believe that any woman trying to play mind games with you and always trying to make you guess what her problem is worth my time.
That's
but that's not what she said.
All the time. No, it's true.
Right. But I just thought that was so funny. I was just like, really?
Real quick, thank you, Cryptic. Send her to me. I'll show her a true asshole.
Yeah, so that was my fucking truth for today.
All right, Monkey, what do you got?
Lady Monkey tweeted out this today. A friend of mine posted on Facebook that we should not be popping bubble wrap because the air in the bubbles are from China. I'm done.
Oh God.
Now, as I understand, my wife doesn't know if this woman or this person, I don't know if it was a man or a woman, she didn't tell me, if they were being serious or not. And right. I kind of hope they're not. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were.
Yeah.
But that made me laugh, so I thought I would share that with you guys. I only have one that's like really real that I care about talking about. And it was, did you guys see Bloomberg is a racist trending today?
Was that because of the Frisk video or whatever they found, the speech?
There's actually a couple different things. In one of them, he's talking about stop and frisk and how when it comes to criminals, you can pretty much just write out what they're going to look like, and they're going to be young black males.
Oh, how old was that video?
What's that? How
old was that speech or whatever?
I want to say 2012.
Okay.
2011, 2012, somewhere around there. If I'm remembering correct. It's while he was mayor and while stop and frisk was in full swing.
Right.
Then he had another one where he said the way you take guns from kids is you throw them against a wall and you frisk them. That's a little harsh there, Mr. Mayor. But so this is trending, and whether you think he's a racist, and I want to say this too, doesn't matter if you think he's a racist, doesn't matter if you think Donald Trump's a racist. What I'm about to read you made my fucking brain hurt.
All right.
Made my fucking brain hurt. Shit. Why is this not? There we go. This chick's name is Sophia Nelson, and she says, sees hashtag Bloomberg is a racist and shakes my head. Folks, we have a racist in the White House right now. Let's be smart here. Don't kill off hashtag Bloomberg. If he can beat Trump, we can at least work with him and educate him to be better. That's not an option with Trump.
He's our kind of racist.
Exactly. We're going to beat a racist with a racist. That's why I said it doesn't matter if you actually believe these men are racist.
Right.
In her mind, she's willing to concede he's a racist.
Yeah.
She's saying, okay, look, he's a racist. But so is Donald Trump, and we can beat him with our racist. And look, maybe we can change his mind. There are a few things that I read that actually make me yell at my screen. And I actually, what the fuck are you talking about? When I read that, I was like, that makes no sense.
Well, it does make some kind of sense because of TDS.
I suppose. You have how many other options? Bloomberg isn't even being talked about tonight because he's not even in the fucking race in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
You have these other choices, and your answer is, hey. Not, let's pick somebody else. No. It's, yeah, sure, he's a racist, but I mean, maybe we can work with him.
Oh, man, that's amazing.
I think that's part of the whole never Trump. Like, nobody, they said, I think the one thing I read on Facebook is like, I don't give a fuck if this is a loaf of bread running against Trump. I'm voting for it.
Yeah, I mean, folks, come on. Yeah, but yeah, see, Sophia, she's willing. It's not that she's against voting for racists, you guys. Those bad racists, she's not going to vote for.
Yeah, we can work with this racist. Not that one. That racist, he's already tainted.
Oh my god.
Ain't gonna lie, that one hurt my head a little bit. Like, Jesus. All right, but yeah, I mean, Andrew Yang dropped out with something. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer don't like Donald Trump's proposed budget. Who didn't see that coming? That was a fucking news story from CNN.
Wow.
Like, so status quo is what you're telling me. But yeah, that's all I got.
Didn't they also not like the trade agreement?
Yeah, they didn't like that.
And
I don't think they've liked anything Trump so far.
Yeah, imagine that. Gosh, surprise. All right, well, got a few minutes. Hey, how about a Mad Lib?
Mad Lib. Sure. I feel like we haven't done those in a while.
All right, let's see. Let me find my little online Mad Lib thing. Okay, let's see. This is the one that actually puts out occasionally some new ones. What do we got here? How many words do I get with this one? I guess I'll have to wait to find out because it's thinking about loading. Oh, that's a lot. Okay. All right. So, chat, here's what I need from you. We're going to do a Mad Lib. I need you guys to suggest ideas for these 3 categories. Please put them in separate chat messages and tag them so I know that you're submitting. I need 2 different nouns. So noun number 1 and noun number 2. And then they say a male person.
A man?
That's basically just a male person. So a person, just, I guess, anybody you can think of. Celebrity, generic character, whatever. Just a man of some kind. But with that, Monkey, we'll start with you. An adjective, please.
Stupid.
Okay. Satsu, an adjective, please.
Multicolored.
I wonder why you chose that. Monkey, a celebrity.
Charles Manson.
Charles Manson. Satsu, I also need a celebrity.
Little Dicky.
Little Dicky?
Yeah.
Who's Little Dicky?
Don't worry about it.
All right. Monkey, oddly enough, I need from you an animal.
A prairie dog.
Prairie dog. All right. Satsu, a verb.
We'll go with one of Scribe's favorites. Slam.
Slam. Da, 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 da. Let the boys be boys. Oh, sorry.
I had to put a quarter in, didn't you?
Yeah. Monkey, a noun, please.
Jukebox.
Fuck you. Satsu, a noun, please.
Autistic jukebox.
Come on. God damn it. Thank you. Why is my mind blank? How do you pronounce it, monkey?
How do we? Oh, which one? Saoirse.
Saoirse. I'm sorry. I should know this. Thank you, Saoirse. I'm tired of rhino. I'm pushing mitwit instead.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. Monkey, a part of the body.
Labia.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Satsu, an adverb.
God damn it. That's in ly, right?
Usually speaking, yes.
Why is my brain broken on it?
I don't know.
I don't know. Pick one for me, Scribe. My brain is like, for some reason, not functioning.
Forgetfully.
There you go.
Okay. And then monkey, an adjective.
Oh, let's see. Sloppily.
Okay. Hey, Satsu, how about an adverb?
Oh my god. Discombobulatingly.
No, I reject that one. Give me a real word, Satsu. Your vocabulary is not so stunted. You can't come up with a word that ends in ly.
That's a word.
No, it's not. Come on.
I wanted to think of something
how would you prefer your daughter behave?
Properly.
There you go. Thank you.
English major takes his words serious, dude.
I was looking for maybe happily or calmly or something like, but properly is fine. Okay. Monkey, an adjective, please.
Real quick, I do want to say, I think that's the most adverbs we've ever had in one of these.
I don't know.
Adjective. Let's see. I still like disease-ridden.
By the way, that's only the second adverb in this entire thing. Just two.
I thought we had 3 in a row there, didn't we?
No.
Okay.
Adverb. Sorry, what was it? What did you say, monkey?
Now I forget. Disease-ridden.
Disease-ridden. Okay. Satsu, an adjective, please.
Majestic.
Ooh, there you go. Good job. Monkey, a part of the body again.
Scrotum.
Scrotum.
And lastly, Satsu, an adjective, please.
Let's go with circular.
Okay. All right. Now on to the chat suggestions. I need my 2 nouns. Looking for a noun. Cannibal Caretaker, maybe appropriately enough, says chainsaw. Chainsaw. They're thinking about rebooting Texas Chainsaw Massacre again.
Oh, God.
Because why not? I guess, 6 or 7 years have passed, so might as well do another one. Another noun. Let's see. Well, those are, let's see. Announce it. Okay. Moonshock says crowbar. Chainsaw and crowbar sounds.
Crowbar.
And then a person, male person. Mac McMank says Conan. I'll assume Conan the Barbarian, not Conan O'Brien.
The librarian, thank you.
Oh, yeah, Conan the Librarian. There you go, Conan the Librarian. All right, guys, here we go. This one's called My Dream Man.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
My dream man should, first of all, be very stupid and multicolored.
So,
wow.
He should have a physique like Charles Manson, a profile like Little Dicky, and the intelligence of a prairie dog. He must be polite and must always remember to slam my jukebox.
That's a weird euphemism.
That's amazing. And to tip his autistic jukebox and to take my labia when crossing the street.
Oh. It's like pick it up and all right.
He should move forgetfully, have a sloppily voice, and should always dress properly. I would also like him to be a disease-ridden dancer. And when we are alone, he should whisper majestic nothings into my scrotum and hold my circular chainsaw.
Wait a minute.
Sweet nothings into my what? Scrotum?
He should whisper majestic nothings into my scrotum and hold my circular chainsaw.
We need some anatomy here. I need to figure out where both the scrotum and the labia are on this person.
I know a crowbar is hard to find. In fact, the only one I can think of is Conan the Librarian.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Okay. All right. We got time
Nobody's judge.
We got time for one more, I think.
Dude, circular chainsaw. I need that in my life.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I bet it's made somewhere. Yeah. All right, one more. This one's got a few less words, but we'll get right into it. Chat, I need your help on this one. I need a verb, an adverb, and a name of a person in the room. But for the sake of this situation, you can just give me a name of someone. Or if you want to give me the name of someone in the room with you right now in real life, by all means. But just a name of a person, whatever you like. But we begin as we will end. Monkey, I need the name of a person in the room.
Well, Monkey.
All right. Monkey.
I'm the only one here.
I need a noun.
Dildo. Yay.
All right. Monkey, I need a superlative ending in EST.
Let's see, ugliest.
Satsu, I need a noun. Remember, a noun can be a person, a place, or a thing.
See, you just fucking opened up my world.
Well, I know. It's just oftentimes you say noun, we just think of like an inanimate object. But I just want to remind that a noun can be a person, a place, or a thing.
All right. Let's go with Antifa member.
All right. A noun is sort of like the Joker's Wild of the vocabulary world. Monkey, I need a body part. You get all the body parts.
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Nipple.
All right. Satsu, I need a verb ending in ing.
Protesting.
I see a pattern forming here. Monkey, I need a noun.
I'm sticking with objects. I don't care what you say.
I'm just saying you have the option. You can do whatever you want.
Pocket pussy.
Jesus Christ. Satsu, I need a verb.
I was punching or
okay. Punch. All right. Monkey, I need an event.
Puberty.
Yeah. I mean,
Satsu, right. I need a day of the week. You got 7 choices.
That's too many.
I know.
Friday.
Ice Cube. Monkey, I need a verb.
Hump.
Satsu, I need a verb.
Let's see here. Oh, body slam.
Okay. Monkey, I need a place.
Tess Holiday Smelly Cooter.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot of words in there, actually. And lastly, Satsu, I need a time span. So day, week, month, century, I'm assuming something like that, or maybe a decade or something. I don't know.
Several eons.
Several eons. All right. And on to chat a verb. Looking for a verb. Verb. Sir Quack says convict. All right. Do that. Adverb. What was that? Adverb. Where did the adverbs go? Let's see. Okay. Random American says tirelessly. All right. And lastly, name of person in the room. Person. Name of person in the room. Mr. Scott says Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Slayer. Is he really in the room with you? Because that says more about you than it does about him.
I believe.
Okay. And here we go. This one's called Love Letter Number 3. Dear Monkey, it has come to my dildo that you are the ugliest boy in the Antifa member.
Wow, that's hurtful.
Yikes.
My nipple starts protesting a pocket pussy every time you speak.
This is just hurtful.
I would like to punch if you want to go to the puberty with me next Friday. If you hump, please body slam me at the Tess Holiday Smelly Cooter in several eons. I convict you and everything about you. Tirelessly, Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Slayer.
Oh my God.
I didn't realize Abe had such hostile feelings for me.
I know. That's a rough kind of love right there.
Damn, Abe.
But with that, guys, thank you so much for all of your assistance in that. But now we'll move on to question time. So if you guys have questions, comments, concerns, conspiracy theories, complaints, if you have 2 or 3 predictions of whether or not the sun will rise tomorrow, a la Chris Saliza, please put them in the chat now. If you have questions for us, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements for us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you'll just have to survive without knowing. Red Chaos Tree says, Satsu, have you watched Bacano?
I know what that is, and I feel like I've seen it, but
Is it an anime by any chance?
Anime. Hold on, I gotta look this up because that name looks very familiar.
Okay, well, while we're looking that up, Attack Alpaca, would you rather visit Alaska or Hawaii? Probably, yeah, Monkey would be a Hawaii. I'd probably be Alaska because I'm not a huge fan of heat and humidity. So I'd probably go for Alaska. Between the two, anyway.
Hawaii for me. And I haven't watched this whole show, but I've definitely seen at least some of this.
Sean Uli says, do any of you think there should be a federal law requiring all states to have primaries/caucuses on the same day or week?
No.
Nah, the states can do as they will. I mean, nah.
That'd speed things up for sure, but
yeah, it would. But yeah, I don't think it should.
No, part of the game is going through that system, and
yeah,
I have no problem with it.
I think the caucus system is probably beyond outdated at this point, but aside from that, yeah.
I wouldn't want the presidential election to be done that way.
No.
So,
not at all. Let's see. Where do I get these Mad Libs? I just put in Mad Libs online, and there's a couple of sites that have them, and I just pick one usually. Let's see. I missed a whole bunch. Check your logic. Whatever happened to Diesel Dave? Last time I heard from him was when you were saying for his birthday. I don't know. I presume he's out on the road. I hope he's okay. But yeah, we hear from him when we hear from him, I guess. Fingers crossed he's okay. I mean, Mono Winter. Oh Lords, why is it Scribe returns and all of my tasty grapefruit wine is gone? Because you really need to be soused up to hear me talk, I guess.
Scribe makes you drink.
Yeah, thanks a lot. That
also tasty and grapefruit should never be in the same sentence.
You're not a grapefruit fan?
It tastes like
nasty.
earwax.
Oh, okay, interesting. Well, learn something new every day. Corey Suzuki, Scribelight, have you read The House of the Seven Gables? No, but I did have to watch Anne of Green Gables several times when I was young because my sister loves that movie. But no, I have no idea. Nothing for you here. Who are the third-party candidates? Does anyone know? I haven't heard anything about them at all. I honestly don't know.
They should be having their conventions and everything around the same time as the major parties do. So
yeah,
they don't have actual candidates yet picked out. But who's running for those spots? No fucking idea.
Right.
No idea.
I guess I would be curious to find out if they do make themselves more known here. Let's see. Pirates Creed, did AOC get her degree out of pity or from being the beast in the sack? Being a beast in the sack. I didn't know she had a degree. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I don't even know what it's in. So
economics, she tells us.
Oh, was it? No.
That's what she says.
Okay. What school? Boxing?
No. Boston U.
No. Okay. Chat jump, guys. So if I missed your question, please repost it. Mr. Scott says, what do you think would happen if common sense fallacy guy met oppressed prosperity guy?
Oh, God.
Common sense fallacy. Was Scribe here for that?
I don't know.
I must have missed something.
This motherfucker who actually said that common sense is a fallacy and it pointed me to the common sense fallacy. Like, that's not what that means, you shitbag.
Okay. One-ton hammer. Who will be the next Dem to drop? Klobuchar. That's my guess. Of the current premier crop, let's say, I think it's going to be Klobuchar.
I feel like that's a pretty good guess.
I am going to go with Warren, actually. At this
think
point.
So? Yeah. Okay. I mean, Klobuchar surprisingly made it into the top 3, so I think it's not impossible.
I think that opens up money for her, and with Biden doing as bad as he is, unless Biden comes out in South Carolina and Nevada and does really, really well, the major donors are going to be looking for somebody else. And
yeah, that's true.
Your choices are Pete and her. So there you go.
Motto Winter. Oh, Lords, would you try spit roasted peacock with some hard boiled quail eggs and a flamingo necked glass of pink champagne?
No, but I'll eat some chicken.
Yeah, that's awfully complicated. Satsu?
What? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm glad you were paying attention. It's fine.
It's food, so yes, he would try it.
Thank you, Cody Fry. Satsu, what have you done with Dave? Yes, Satsu, what did you do with Dave?
I've done nothing with Dave, and I have nothing to tell you about George. So,
of the jungle?
No.
Oh, I don't know who we're talking about then.
Well, the chat. Some people in chat will remember George.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not in chat, so I guess I get away with it. Let's see. Frank Hubbard says, if Mayor Pete won the D, will Trump have the larger percentage of the black vote?
Good.
That's actually
really good.
Yeah, that would be funny, wouldn't it?
Black people just wouldn't vote, I think.
Check your logic. Why does the nominee have to be picked around my birthday? Because they hate you. That's why. That was easy. Let's see. Devil Fruitsio, Scribelight, what do you think of my conspiracy theory that your job is just a cover for your work in a secret moon base project and you had to take a week off to see how the project is going. What do I think of your conspiracy theory? I'll tell you when I get to your house. Frosted Glass, actor/actress whose voice makes your panties drop. I don't know.
For me, I'm going to tell you, it's going to have to be an actress.
Yeah, that'd be if there is one, that'd be my first thought. But just the voice alone, God, I don't know. I honestly, I can't think of anybody whose voice alone. I mean, it's usually the sort of a package deal.
Sora Luna.
Really?
Have you heard Sora's voice? Yes. Oh God,
I can't say that I have, honestly.
Cutest damn voice you ever did heard.
Oh, I ever did hear.
Ever did heard.
Ever did.
I
heard.
said it right.
Yeah, she's super cute.
She really is.
All right.
But I only say that because Lady Monkey isn't on the air, enough to say her.
Dr. No says, Scribe, is there a Bollywood version of The Hunt for Red October? I'm going to say no. And if there actually is, I'm going to say no. That's my answer. Let's see. Angry Illinoisian. Does anybody notice that Elizabeth Warren and Lizzie Borden look a lot alike and names sound alike? Third time asking.
I have no idea who that other one is.
You don't know who
Lizzie Borden is?
Really?
If I saw him, I'd probably be like, oh, okay.
Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her father 40 whacks.
She's a chick who murdered her father long time ago.
Or parents, basically, her mother and
both of them.
Yeah.
Gave her parents 40 whacks.
Yeah, she took an axe to her parents, and it was a big to-do because she was young, and there didn't seem to be any precursor indications that she was a violent person or there was anything going on in the house or anything. She's kind of...
You guys said this happened when?
Oh, 1800 something or other.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a famous old case, but yeah.
The original Menendez brother.
Oh, yeah. Well, Satsu probably doesn't know who that is. I'm right. Yeah, I know. Quinn the Cultist. Lords of the Night. Would any of you ever summon a demon baby to raise as your own? Are we going to Hellboy territory? Yeah, Satsu, tell us about that. Tell us about that, Satsu.
I already have.
No, you haven't. You're just...
Yeah, she's evil.
No, she's a sweet widow baby.
Mm-hmm.
She's a sweet widow baby.
I saw her dance for the first time today.
Oh, really?
I was playing music and she was actually like bobbing her head back and forth.
Oh, good.
I was just like, oh my God, I've never seen her actually. She's heard music before, but she usually don't respond. She usually just smile whenever there's music playing, but she was like dancing in her little walker today. I'm like, look at you.
Frank Hubbard says she wasn't found guilty. Well, yeah, she wasn't found guilty, but she killed him. There's not really any argument there, I don't think.
Say OJ wasn't found guilty.
That's true, too. Ziogo, Lords of the Night. Which is funnier, Ranting Monkey, Jerry Curl, or Satsu cooking cowboy dishes?
Me with a Jerry Curl by far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I don't know how else to answer that one. Let's see. Motto Winter. Oh, Lords. Nanny, Nunny, or Nunny?
What?
Nunny?
I guess that's how you prefer to pronounce a word, a thing, a stuff.
Nunny.
Nunny. I've heard Nunny, so whatever that means. Nunny. Formerly Rodline. Lords of the Night. Did AOC experiment in college? Yes or no? Experiment with what?
I'm assuming lesbianism.
I'm sure she experimented with lots of things in college.
It couldn't be like, I don't know, drugs or something.
Oh, maybe drugs.
Yeah, maybe.
Just women in college experimenting. I always go with lesbianism. Sorry.
Let's see. Frosted Glass. Will any of the Dems pick Dr. Ted Nelson for their running mate?
Ted Nelson. Why do I know that name?
Yeah, that sounds awfully familiar, but it's not clicking. Crazy Man 1984. If both sides call the other evil, both are right. What do you do?
Pick elsewhere.
I mean, it's always the lesser of two evils thing when you get to that situation. And in that instance, in 2016, I just said, I'm not going to vote.
I don't vote for evil.
I was just like, I don't want to be responsible for either one of these.
Exactly. That's right where I was. I was like, nope, I'm not even gonna attempt fate with that one. Nothing for you here. If you could have any superpower, magical ability, or fantasy weapon, what would it be and why? Satsu?
That's a tall order. Just one of those, like, I have to give some serious thought. All three, and I only get to pick one.
Yep.
Shit, man. The power to come up with a superpower.
Oh, jeez.
Based on all those fucking criteria. I don't fucking know, man.
I'd wish for more wishes.
Come back to me.
Well, I mean, there's a supervillain / anti-hero in the Marvel comics that I always thought had the best superpower, and that is he doesn't have a superpower until he needs one for a specific instance. So let's say someone's shooting a gun at him. For that one moment, he'll become intangible or bulletproof. But then the next minute later, he can be punched in the face and he'll fall down, kind of thing. And there's like some kind of time interval between when he can have a power activate. So I think his name was he was the Answer. That was his name, the Answer. So any problem he had an answer for, but there was some limitation to it. It wasn't just that he was just invincible all the time. As for myself, I always said it'd be cool to be able to stop time, to freeze time. Not be like the Flash and move fast, but just like, be able to create my own little time bubble around me or whatever.
Oh, that's what I was about to ask. So for the immediate area or like universally?
Well, like I'm moving through a pocket of slow time. So as far as I'm concerned, the entire universe is slowed down, but I'm moving normally. I'm not zipping around with lightning coming out my backside like the Flash or anything.
So move so fast that everything else seems to be still.
Yeah, technically yes.
Okay.
Time dilation. Let's put it that way. Mono Winter. Oh Lords, why was ranting monkey kissing Santa Claus? Because Santa Claus was actually a sexy lady underneath that costume. That's my best answer.
I wasn't kissing Santa Claus.
Oh, okay. Who were you kissing?
Your mama.
Oh shit, son.
You had to know that was going to be the answer.
Oh, well, I thought you'd say my wife.
You don't have a wife. You're lonely.
Oh my! Oh,
ouch!
You got me. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, nope. Monkey's got me. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I
just speak my truth.
Your truth. The truth is on fire.
TROOF.
That's right. Let's see. Jack Gunsky, if somehow Warren doesn't drop out by the end of the week, okay, will she still avoid watching Quippers United on Jack Gunsky's channel after the stream? Yes. Yes, she will.
She told me that's her favorite show.
Oh, you talk to Elizabeth Warren often?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I actually do. She just never answers me.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Like me and Tom Steyer or Chris Saliza.
Tom Steyer, you owe me money, motherfucker.
I'm always talking to Chris Saliza, but he never responds. Let's see. Check your logic. This week, the week Scribe leaves is when Kirk Douglas and Orson Bean die. Scribe, what did you do? I took a vacation. But also, the impeachment trial happened and the State of the Union happened and the Democratic debate happened. A whole bunch of stuff happened when I wasn't here. It wasn't just that stuff, bad stuff. Dr. No, Skylight, when was the last time you busted a nut?
Why do you want to know that?
Well, I believe I did crack a walnut around Christmas time.
5 days ago.
Yo, mama.
It's like, what time is it? Let's see. W.R. Costin, Kirk Douglas died? Yes, he did. Quite famously, in the sense that, well, it happened and it was talked about quite a bit. So, yeah. Tech Alpaca, I know it won't happen, but what percent of Dems will be upset if Tulsi Gabbard wins the nominee? What percent would be upset? 95%. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Well, if she won, I would imagine like around half.
Yeah. Ziogo, Lords of the Night, would you watch a horror anthology series with Al Pacino as the horror host or a Western starring Kevin Hart and Jack Black? I'd take the horror anthology hosted by Pacino.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, the other one could be fun.
Like if they reinvigorated Night Gallery hosted by Al Pacino, that'd be amazing.
I don't want to see no tiny black angry cowboy.
Pirates Creed. Lizzie Borden stopped at 41 because 42 would have brought them back to life. Oh, because the answer is 42. Is that the joke? The answer to everything, life, the universe. Nothing for you here. Would you rather have a sword, food, or a tent if stranded in the wild? I'd take the tent, probably, because conceivably you could forage for food and or make a weapon.
Yeah,
but a good shelter is not easy to come by necessarily in the wild.
I'm going with the tool first.
Oh, the sword? Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, okay. Legit. Adabisi, have you seen Gunless? Is that an anime? I'm just guessing.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Were they asking me?
I don't. That's all. It just wasn't directed at anybody in particular.
Oh, okay.
Delfruit Zero, if you guys were to guess how long it would take after the coronavirus to be completely forgotten, like all the other plagues that have been quickly forgotten.
Oh, probably 4 to 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, granted that it burns itself out effectively like SARS did and became not really a problem, or at least not a widespread problem anymore. Yeah, I mean, SARS was what, 2004 or 5?
If anything's going to keep it alive, it's going to be the memes.
That too, yeah. That is also true. Yeah, because the SARS did not have the benefit of social media back when it was all the rage, let's say. So, let's see. Adabisi says, Gunless is a Canadian cowboy movie. That sentence makes absolutely no sense to me. A Canadian cowboy. I mean, is it set in Canada? Or is it just a cowboy movie made by Canadians? Not that one necessarily makes the other better. I'm just curious. I've never heard of it. So
either way, it's wrong.
Yeah, it's against God's plan.
Cowboys with Canadians.
Yeah, Canadians don't. Yeah, cowboys.
So you're not going to get the Canadian DLC for Red Dead Redemption?
No.
Yeah, in this DLC, you travel to the Great White North. Be peaceful with all your neighbors and mine for gold in the Yukon. Pirates Creed, what science fiction weapons would be best for surviving in a zombie apocalypse? Elon Musk flamethrowers. I guess. I don't know.
Lightsaber would be good because you can cut off people's head and it won't break.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I was watching this one movie and they were talking about what weapon they would bring to a zombie apocalypse. And dude's like, a flamethrower. And he was like, okay, let me explain something to you. Zombie, dangerous. Zombie on fire, extremely fucking dangerous.
That's true, too.
It's like, that's so stupid.
Frosted Glass, based on the game Pandemic Incorporated, should we protect ourselves from Corona by moving to Greenland? Well, it's either Greenland or Madagascar. Because I remember that one of the early plague games, I could never get Madagascar infected because it always locked itself down.
That was like one of the and it's so fucking, you just miss it. You don't even think about it. You're like, fuck,
right?
Madagascar.
Yeah,
So Greenland's a lot easier to infect than Madagascar in those games. So yeah, Madagascar.
Yeah, Madagascar, because I was always the happiest when, because I forget what the name of the game I played was. I don't think it was Plague. I think it was just called maybe it was just called Plague or something. Anyway, it randomly selected what country you started the infection in. And I was always the happiest when I started in Madagascar, which was rare as hell. But I was like, thank goodness I don't have to worry about Madagascar. And usually if I started Madagascar, I conquered the world. But always Madagascar got away with it.
Did you play Plague Inc., Scribe?
I think that was it was an early Flash version. I don't think it was Pandemic as it sits now. It might have been. It was some free version of it that I played way back when.
Oh, okay. Well, I was about to ask. I think Monkey played it. What's your favorite disease?
Sorry. I don't remember. I just grab one and go.
I like the vampire, like the Dark Lord one. That shit was fun. It's hard because you got like fucking Templars and shit popping up that'll fucking fuck your shit up or whatever. That was like the one I had the most fun with.
I just like getting my disease, naming it the liquid shits, and waiting till everybody died of the liquid shits. It makes me laugh. It's true.
Let's see. Formerly Rodline Law, zombie apocalypse coming. Would you rather be holed up in a Costco or a police station? Police station would be easier to defend. Costco's a gigantic box, and there's no conceivable way you could cover all possible entrances. So I'd probably take the police station.
I'm going Costco.
Really?
Yeah, there's more things that you can potentially use as weapons, and all the food.
Yeah,
I guess so. But if they get past one little area of that place, you're overrun, and it doesn't matter how much food you got. I mean, I guess it depends on how much time you have to prepare before conceivably you're overrun. But let's see who's next. I don't see any questions.
For the record, I've made bases in kind of both of those things, a Shamway and a police station.
Real quick, back to the fundraisers. Let's see. So currently for Knight of Charlemagne's target of 2,000 pounds, we've got 360 pounds. And for Angela Arriaga, let me refresh here. Of the goal of $1,000, she's at 350. So guys, if you take a look at the links in the description for either Angela or Knight of Charlemagne, please take a look. And if you have a few bucks you can spare, please think about throwing them their way for their various needs. Appreciate it. Shiogarath, if forced to, would you take a long prison sentence, say 400 years, for multiple murders, or ask for the death penalty? Oh boy. I mean, now this is theoretically we're guilty of these crimes. It's not like we're in jail unjustly or something. Because if it's unjustly, I'd take the 400 years and hope that I could eventually exonerate myself.
Yeah.
But if I'm guilty, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, judging from watching the shows that Squishy watches or whatever, when it comes to prison stuff, nowadays there's so many different things that you can get into while in jail that kind of make it seem like you're not really in jail, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably ride it out. Like, fuck it. I'm going to just grow old and die.
Thank you, Non-Vitae Rex. You're making a World War I movie and you want to cross it with another movie genre. Which do you pick besides zombies, vampires, or werewolves? World War I and another genre.
Magic Girls.
Rom-com. Oh, Mean Girls would be great.
Let me think about that for a second. Adabisi, watch Gunless 2010 movie trailer. You're welcome. I will have to. I mean, a Canadian Western. I got to look that up now. World War I movie and another genre. Okay, well, so I'm assuming with vampires, zombies, and werewolves. I'm assuming we can't do horror. So I do a sci-fi wherein the Germans are gifted with weapons from the 20th century through a time machine. That kind of thing. It'd be sort of like The Guns of the South, the book by Harry Turtledove, where the South in the Civil War suddenly have AK-47s for some reason, and they win the war. It's a very interesting book. But guys, with that, by the time I finish this, will be at the top of the hour, and thus the end of the show. Everybody, thank you so much for coming out today. It is good to be back on the show after my week off last week. I know I was on here yesterday, but this is my first time hosting since then. So again, thank you for joining us. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though our audience is the best behaved on YouTube. And everyone who donated, thank you so much for your generosity. And for those of you who have donated or will donate to Angela or Knight of Charlemagne, check the links in the description. Thank you so much on their behalf. I am also very grateful as well. Thank you so much. Remember, guys, tomorrow night, per usual, will be on Monkey's channel at the regular time. There is no game stream tonight. There is, however, a Quippers United over on Jack Gunsky's channel. You can also check out, I believe, I'm completely mistaken, Minions of the Zoo after this as well. Anybody else I need to plug that I'm not thinking of right now? Oh, go check out Tailed Features' new channel. Also, look out for Your Boy Pat's live stream channel. Sooner or later, I will be a guest interview on there. I don't know when yet, but I'll let you know. Anything else to mention or plug before we go, guys?
No.
Nope.
All right, then. Well, everyone. Satsu, Monkey, thank you for joining me as always.
My pleasure.
Everyone, your lives make us sad, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.
Fuck off.
And per tradition, take out my copy of Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, the romance and sexual sorcery of sadomasochism. And you ran the page. And today's secret word is tapestries.
Oh.
Tapestries.
Fancy.
I know. That's because that's just how I am. I'm fancy.